What's up, everybody? Welcome to Fourth and Goal, your weekly injury digest, part of the Injury Experts channel. My name is Rahul. I'm the fantasy analyst out here, and joined by our doctor of physical therapy every week, crushing it. His Eagles lost, my Seahawks won, so pretty exciting. So we'll go from there. But massive Week 13 reset, Dave.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow is back. Aiyuk guarantees are avoided. Bucky and Pacheco pushing to play. So crazy updates. Let's jump into it. Before we jump into QBs, any concerns about the Eagles? Are you guys going to make the playoff, or is it going to be a
I mean,
2023 recap out here?
at this point, they better. You still got a three-game lead in the division. It
They
sucks
got
losing the
it.
one seed.
Yeah,
But yeah, definitely some things they got to clean up. I think 14 penalties. Shoot, it's hard to win. You miss a field goal. They pissed it away. It sucks, but hey, I think every team that this year has had one a game like pretty much games like that. So it is what it
100%.
is.
Yeah.
Move on. We got the Bears Friday night or Friday afternoon, actually. We'll see.
They'll make the playoff. It's just a wonder if they'll win the Super Bowl or not. I feel bad for Nick Sirianni. Okay, let's jump into QBs. Joe Burrow officially back. But I was watching the game yesterday. Brock Purdy coming back from similar turf toe, although like it was a less severity compared to Joe Burrow. And you could see the last three games Brock Purdy played, throws over 15 yards. He's made six interceptions and one touchdown. So you people cannot like say the toe is not affecting him in some way, shape, or form. Are we going to expect similar stuff with Joe Burrow or Joe Burrow? I mean, Joe Burrow has a different throwing motion, so he probably uses his wrist more than Brock Purdy.
Yeah, this one it's a great comparison, like you said, similar injuries but different treatments, right? I think Brock Purdy was more conservative, so he probably had more of like a moderate sprain of the turf toe ligaments, and Joe Burrow just had a complete grade three, so it was complete tear, clean surgical fix. Structurally everything's fine at this point. He's may have some stiffness, may have some trouble with those deep balls, like you're saying, but I fully expect him to look better than Brock Purdy does coming back, just because if you have an ailment, best way to kind of get back fully healthy, the quickest, maybe not the quickest way, but to ensure long-term success is going to be surgery. So, and honestly, he beat his treatment window. I think they said 3 months, and he's coming back in about 2.5 months. So, great news for Burrow, great news for the Bengals for this push for the playoffs.
And his best friend Jamar Chase is back from the spit gate, so I think they're going to have a good
Yeah.
connection. T. Higgins, we'll talk about him. Okay, another QB potentially coming back for Week 13. Aaron Rodgers is pushing to play, but there's no official statement. And Morse will drop his final reports tomorrow night before Thursday games. What are your thoughts on Aaron Rodgers? Steelers need him. Like
Yeah.
they could have beat the Bears if Rodgers was playing that game.
Oh yeah, they put up what 28 points with Mason Rudolph under center. Easily could have been up over 30 with Rodgers. And we mentioned it last week. I know they said it's a small fracture. A fracture is a fracture. It's a fracture. It's a break. So at this point, it's his non-throwing hand, but still grip strength, ball velocity is going to be an issue. Maybe even ball protection, ball security. So even if he plays, throws outside the numbers and those deep balls may be a pretty significant test for him. But Steelers are kind of in the hunt with the Ravens. They're neck and neck. They need Rodgers back ASAP, which I think, like you said, I think he'll push to play. He was close last week. I think he'll be back this week.
Tough matchup against the Bills, and his wide receiver DK Metcalf might miss this week. So that's a
Yep.
frustrating aspect of that. Baker Mayfield, kind of like goodish news, like nothing crazy with his left shoulder, but it looked pretty bad on TV. Looks
Yeah,
like, do you think he plays this week or maybe rest this week and push into week 14?
that is a great question. As of I sit here right now, I would say it might be a stretch for him to play, only because, and I only say that because he was removed at halftime and he was seen in a sling. So they're saying it's a low grade AC sprain. There's a variety of grades with the AC sprain. The higher the number, the worse it is. So we're thinking it's potentially a grade one, maybe a grade two. Similarly, like Joe Flacco was dealing with it a few weeks back, but he was able to play through it. Baker Mayfield's a tough SOB, so I think he could possibly play through it. But again, we're just monitoring practice reports. It's only Tuesday, so we don't really know. But just my gut reaction, I would say probably not, but don't quote me on it.
Yep. And oh my God, the Buccaneers have been ravaged with injuries. And talking about his teammate Bucky Irving, trending towards returning, but even if he comes back, I mean, it's just they've kept his injury under so much wrap that we actually don't know the severity of his shoulder injury, or maybe the foot is bothering him. Like, it's just frustrating.
Yeah, I mean, by all accounts, based off of what we've been seeing and hearing, it seems like it's mostly the shoulder at this point. It looked like he was trending to play last week, but I think they held him out as a precaution. And I think there was even a report that said, which we speculated, that even when he does return, it's going to be kind of split backfield between him, Sean Tucker, Rashad White. So frustrating for fantasy performance. But that foot and shoulder combo is going to be tricky for a guy that's going to get hit. So, full speed practice indicates that he's likely coming back. However, what's the ceiling is the bigger question.
They need him though, and they have a good matchup against the Cardinals. And yeah, yeah, frustrating. And Bucky holders are still hoping for the best. Maybe a playoff push. So let's hope
Yeah,
there.
maybe a flex play, maybe
Yeah,
when he's
maybe
back in. I
little
think a
little
safe
upside.
flex.
But again, I think it's going to be a split backfield, and all the data
Yeah.
shows coming back from a shoulder plus toe injury. There's no like actual data for that, but just like combining the data, looks like he'll probably get like a 40 to 50% of the snaps. So not fantasy reliable for week 13. Josh Jacobs, he would have played week 12. He just, Green Bay being conservative as always, sat him out for week 12. Looks like he's trending to play this week. And they have a good matchup against the Lions. That's going to be a high scoring game.
Yeah, for sure. And like you mentioned, Green Bay historically conservative. Structurally, again, nothing is wrong with the knee, just some maybe swelling, pain tolerance. But across all fantasy platforms, he is projected to have a monster game. So that indicates that, again, he is likely to play. Whereas last week he has projected for zero the entire week. And they said he was a game time decision, ultimately held him out. So, if Josh Jacobs is active, you're absolutely put him in your lineup.
Smash start out on that. Trey Benson, that's another coming back from a meniscus recovery. I mean, I don't know how that's going to work out. I mean, even if he comes back, I mean, they have Bam
Yeah.
Knight, they have Michael Carter, DeMarcado is out, so I don't know how much. I mean, Trey Benson could take over the backfield, but
It's still not a sexy offense really, especially with Jacoby Brissett. I mean, at this point, you have Trey McBride, Marvin Harrison Jr. still out. So I mean, at this point, you're not really feeling comfortable in any of the Arizona running backs. I mean, if Trey Benson is able to come back, yeah, that's great. But I think that's just a conundrum for fantasy owners because it's like, okay, does he reclaim that RB1 role? I mean, with the way the backfield is playing, maybe, maybe not. I mean, it's just a situation that I would kind of advise like a wait and see approach.
I think it's a situation where if you start him, he's going to have 2 points, and if you bench him, he's going to score two touchdowns. It's
You
it's a
never win.
classic. Yeah.
Yep.
Ashton Jeanty dealing with ankle soreness. Thoughts?
It sounds mild. It sounds like it could be a low lateral ankle sprain. So, I mean, just like classic, you roll your ankle, the outside of your ankle. That really is going to affect your lateral movement, especially if it's a little kind of painful. It sounds like it's nothing really significant. So, until we hear otherwise, I fully expect him to be fine for this weekend.
Alvin Kamara, potential MCL sprain, initial reports, and looking at the numbers for Devin Neal, who's projected anywhere between 10 to 15 points on different platforms, tells me Kamara is out for this week.
Yeah, it certainly seems that way too. And I think Nick Underhill, he's been kind of like on the Saints beat for years. He indicated that it's great news that it's not significant, like a season-ending injury, but he still says that Kamara is expected to miss time with that MCL sprain. MCL's on the inner part of your knee, controls that side-to-side stability. And Kamara's a shifty guy, so it's definitely going to affect him. I'm with you. I think he's likely going to look at a multi-week absence here. So the
Multi-week,
young
eh?
yeah, I think so. I think we're looking at more than just 1 week, especially the Saints. I mean, they're in that era of transition, right? They want to see what they have in these young guys. So you might as well just let Shuck and Neal kind of operate in that backfield and see how they do.
Okay. Isaiah Pacheco is trending towards playing, but I mean, Kareem Hunt is crushing it out there. So I don't know, fantasy wise, Pacheco, Hunt. I mean, that might be a rough one for both running backs. Where do you start them? Do you even start them?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, again, I would probably Andy Reid came out and said that he expects Isaiah Pacheco to play on Thanksgiving on Thursday. So he's returning from the MCL injury. I think even if when he does come back, I mean, I would feel if I'm a Kareem Hunt owner, he's pretty much a touchdown dependent flex at that point. He was already that before Pacheco got hurt. And then if as a Pacheco owner, you're going to be frustrated because Pacheco might do the dirty work to get all the way down there. And then they're going to put Kareem Hunt in just because he's the battering ram, lowers the pad level and just plunges forward. So I think Kareem Hunt still has fantasy value, whereas Pacheco, I'm just going to say, all right, I got to wait and see how they're going to do, especially against the new and improved Cowboys front seven. I would just advise go with Hunt, wait and see with Pacheco.
Let's jump on to wide receivers. Chris Godwin played this past week, but unfortunately, I don't know who's going to throw it to him. Teddy
Yeah.
Bridgewater and Egbuka is kind of having a slump after the monster first 4 games. But I think Chris Godwin is a sneaky flex play.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, it's small sample size. That game kind of got out of hand pretty quickly. So you can't really judge the Bucks offense off that. And like we said, Mayfield didn't play in the second half. If he's active, which he will be again, you got Egbuka and you got him. So I mean, I would probably feel fine with plugging him in as like a flex or a wide receiver three. You got to get points somewhere, and I think he's only going to get better as the season kind of comes on here. So I think brighter days are ahead for the Bucks offense, but they just got to get healthy, especially on that front.
Yeah. But full go on him, no limitations for Godwin.
Yeah, I mean they held him out long term, so you would expect that. And they said it was a fibula, which is that bone on the outer side of your lower leg. So we're not really sure what exactly it was, but the fact they held him out so long, it seems like he's all systems go without limitations.
George Pickens had a great game against your Eagles, but
Yeah.
after the game, he was dealing with knee and calf irritation. I don't know what that means. Can you explain?
Yeah, I mean, it could be two separate injuries. Could be a knee and a calf, but the calf itself is also what we call in the medical term a two joint muscle. It crosses at your knee and it crosses at your ankle. So it could kind of be a little bit of both. Like the upper part of your calf is the backside of your knee, and the lower part of your calf is down near your Achilles, right? So could be two separate things, could be combined. Um, but calf injuries are really going to affect your acceleration and burst and explosiveness, which if you watch Pickens running routes, I mean, that's just what he does. So are we a little bit concerned? Yeah. However, he was held out of practice. Like we said, they play the Chiefs on Thursday. He was held out Monday, upgraded to limited today. So that trend is positive. And of course, I think he's wide receiver two right now in PPR. So as long as he's playing, he's in there and he's a smash start.
The only concerns is in the recent history, people who have calf irritation or calf injuries, and it ends up being something significant. So that's the only pause I have. I hope it's nothing and Pickens continues his awesome season. Rashee Rice started the game pretty bad, and then during the game, I think even somebody, one of the reporters mentioned hamstring injury or had some tenderness. But dude came back in the second half and crushed it. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, anytime you hear like hamstring, soft tissues, hamstring, quads, calf, like you mentioned with Pickens, those are really fragile injuries. We don't really know. All it takes is one little burst or deceleration, and you try to play through it, and it gets worse. He practiced in full today, so that tells me he's fine for Thursday against Dallas. So, I mean, Rashee Rice, he's been pretty much unquestioned wide receiver one ever since he made his debut in week 7.
yep. And T. Higgins, that's a bummer for Joe Burrow. Misses his second wide receiver there, but he has Jamar Chase. But T. Higgins, concussion, looked pretty bad. And he has to go through 5 steps, and it was a short week. So we can't expect him to play week 13. But week 14, any chances he plays? Or just like going by CJ Stroud, what he's dealt with, he missed 3 games.
Yeah. And it really all depends because on the severity of concussions, concussion just by like folks that miss 1 week or so, I mean, at the end of the day, concussion's a brain injury. So it may be a mild one, but anything more than that, I mean, you're looking at a potential multi-week absence. I wouldn't be surprised if this goes to another week or so. He may still be in the protocol, kind of going through early next week. But even if he does come back, you could see a potentially like 10 to 15% dip in contested catches. But I think as you're seeing the beneficiary of this is going to be Jamar Chase. I think he's projected like 20 points or something this week. It's
You know
insane because I
what?
mean the
I
offense is going to go
feel
through him.
hit the over on his receptions. He's going to get like crazy targets this week.
I could
100%.
see like a classic Jamar Chase, like 12 catches, 170 yards, and a touchdown or two this
We'll
week.
see. I
It wouldn't
mean,
surprise me.
yeah, but Ravens, they're playing
They're
well.
playing better.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
playing better. And since I mentioned CJ Stroud, there's a chance he plays this week. And I think Texans are kind of like peaking at the right time. So let's see what they
yeah.
do if they can make some sound. Terry McLaurin, I mean, same hamstring. I think we have beaten this dead horse. So we'll see if he plays. If he plays, maybe flex, but I don't. I personally just
Desperation.
going by the data. I don't see any crazy things happening out there. But one news which we have to touch upon, Brandon Ayuk looks like he looks fine. He's posting videos, he's going everywhere, but his guarantees were voided. Maybe the signs he's not returning this year. I don't think it's injury related. I don't think 49ers want him to play.
Yeah, and I mean, we called this actually last week before the news came out because we were talking about the training camp videos that came out, him running routes, and by all intents and purposes, with his timeline, he should be back. But the fact that they voided his guarantees, that almost always signals, hey, this is a long-term kind of issue between player and team. I mean, there's no security. So as a player, why am I going to go out and risk myself for future injury, especially coming off a significant injury? For to jeopardize my potential earnings in the future. So, I mean, it certainly seems like this is the end for Brandon Aiyuk in San Fran, which we unfortunately speculated last week.
We'll see where he ends up going. Maybe the Commanders. We'll see. Him and
Him and
Daniels played
Debo.
together. Debo might be. Daniels played with him at Arizona State. So
True. Yep.
our defensive spotlight, two big injuries. Monday night, Jaycee Horn and Corey Thornton, both DBs. Oh my God, they were playing so well in the first half. I still feel there's a potential it would have been upset if they played the second half. But they were reading Purdy left and right. Purdy couldn't do
Yep.
anything. And then once they were gone, 49ers just had the control of the game. So give us a quick update on Jaycee Horn and Corey Thornton.
Yeah, so JC Horn's dealing with an elbow injury. Especially that's pretty significant for corners, especially when you're playing press coverage. Your elbow really helps out with extension, so kind of like pressing on the line of scrimmage. So that's going to really limit his punch ability with press coverage. So, of course, in that sense, opposing wide receiver ones get a big boost because he kind of shadows their top wideouts. And then Corey Thornton, he's dealing with an ankle injury. DBs, of course, need lateral cuts, the ability to change on a dime, kind of open up your hips and your ankles. So, I mean, that's pretty significant. So that's going to hurt his coverage ability as well. So if, you have, wide receivers going against the Panthers, it was looking like a tough matchup. But if those two guys are going to be limited in any way, shape, or form, you're feeling more comfortable about starting those guys.
Yeah, interesting. I think Rams play them this week. And oh, Stafford, dude,
MVP?
he's in a different level. But I just feel they're peaking too soon. I feel the Rams are peaking too soon.
Yeah. I mean,
I mean, it's week 12. They're like a Ferrari. Like nobody can stop them.
yeah, and I mean, we knew they were going to have a nice defense. Their defensive line was unreal. Now they got Devontae Adams. They're really humming on all cylinders, but it really, again, I want to see how they fare in outdoor football weather in these last couple months. I still think, as an Eagles fan, if it didn't snow in that playoff game, it might have been a different outcome.
True.
Um,
I mean,
but I mean, hey,
same
yeah,
with the Seahawks game. Sam
yeah,
Darnold had four interceptions, and we still could have won that game. Just
yeah.
saying. Just saying.
Yeah, they
Okay.
let teams kind of linger in there a little bit too long for a juggernaut that really should put teams away when they need to.
Okay. Well, that's it for this week. Dr. Morse would be dropping the final injury report tomorrow night. Happy Thanksgiving, Dave. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone. We'll see you guys next week. And it's a great football week. I'm excited.
Love
Thursday,
it.
Friday, Saturday. Oh my God, Saturday college. Oh, it's going to be a great week. Awesome,
Yep.
dude. Have fun. We'll see you guys next week.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.